Hey, how are you? I'm so glad to be here back again to this Global Hack Week. And as I mentioned last time, times go flying. So here we are again for this Cloud Global Hack Week. I see some really familiar names right now. For example, Sparky is a good student, but I hope to see some others that it's the first time. So hi, welcome you all. I got mixed comments from the past session, so I don't know which ones are for this specifically. For example, I see here time is up, right? Yes or no? Yes, Alberto has not begun. I was waiting for the past session to go over. I see here, for example, something about React, so I'm thinking you were mentioning the previous ones. Snowcap says, "What if we don't know anything about React?" Don't you worry, you'll probably find a lot of documentation. But again, I think this is for the past section. Okay, nice. Where can I find the slideshow for today? I am not sure about that because it was for a partner that I was sharing. But ask in Discord if we can get you the slides. That will be a great thing. Thanks for the comment here, Furry Clubhouse. Everyone joins. See, ask Stefan in MLH server. Yeah, use the MLH server to ask all the things you want to know about the previous sessions. But I think this it's going to be. Yeah, I find the buys now. So, okay, what's up? This is the first comment for this specific session. So I think this is the Tesla dev saying, "What's up? Hi." Abnab Malik, so Sparky Secret Student says, "Hi everyone, hope you got your screen back." No, actually, I'm not using my current setup. I am on my work right now, so I'm on office. But for the next session of this Global Hack Week, I try to use the schedule for being in home. So next sessions, I hope to have my screen back. I'm sure they will do. Hello, you Alberto. So hey, again the screen, great. Yeah, don't worry. Plus, for this will be a very cool session. I don't know if you haven't seen this before, but this is an event we usually run and at our hackathons here at the Merely Hacking, and this is. Let me start sharing the mighty making better hacks faster with GitHub Copilot. These I love because I'm a Copilot user since the beta. I mean, I was one of the first people to use Copilot as product. Um, so let's start with that. I'm going to start presenting. So my name is Alberto. I am your mainly hacking coach from Mexico. I also work as a front-end developer in a startup called Vigo, which I am currently now. I'm the office right now. I'm also a GitHub Campus expert. I study mechatronics engineer, and I'm a photography enthusiast and passionate about coffee. One other fun fact, again, I was mentioning, I was one of the first users to use Copilot. I really love the product. I use it now in my current day, like every time. I ask Copilot a lot of things. I love the auto completion feature, and well, I can't imagine my life with Copilot right now. So I like to use or to sorry to give this session because you will find in me a lot of passion about this topic. So what we're going to do? I don't know why my slides are taking a time to update, but yeah, we are going to see what a Copilot is. Let me start the next part. What Copilot, GitHub Copilot is, And why will you use it? We are going to set up the GitHub Copilot for you to use in Visual Studio Code. And then we're going to actually use it in a real scenario for solving some problems, right? So let me again refresh. Yeah, I don't know why my slides are not updating at the moment I hit click, but I will try a thing that is have the window in another. I don't know if if I resize this change. So okay, don't worry. Uh, this is up right now. So I see a comment here. What's your go-to coffee order? Ooh, I just drink pour-overs, but I usually don't do this myself. I don't go to a coffee store to drink my coffee. If I go to a coffee store, and it's not a specialty one, I usually order a latte or a cappuccino. It depends what time in the day it is. If it is in the morning, I only drink lattes, and in the night I only drink cappuccinos because it has less milk. So I'm getting a little lactose intolerant right now. I mean, it's the age. I have to face it. But yeah, I don't drink coffee from cafeterias if there are not specialty cafeterias. Yeah, exactly, because you cannot mess the coffee once you add milk. It's hard. I mean, it's possible, but it's hard. And if it is a specialty cafeteria, I drink pour overs, and I would like to test different methods. My favorite one right now is B60, but I at home have an origami one. I thought it was related to Copilot. No, there was a question here about what's your go-to coffee order. Returning to Copilot, sorry for that. This is what we're going to do. So, what Copilot, setting up Copilot and using Copilot. I want to ask, how many of you are currently? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, how many of you are currently using Copilot? Let's do these little sentences. No, it's perfectly fine. Sorry, I was just interested. Me. So, amazing. Two people. Two people currently using Copilot. Three. Spark is a good student. Cool. Now, the opposite. How many of you haven't even heard about Copilot? Like, I want to know how many of you don't even know what the tool is. Kagan Joffrey says it's not free, don't use it. Don't you worry, Kagan Joffrey. I have great news for you because, yeah, that's true. It is not free, but it is free for students. That's a super spoiler for this session, but you mentioned it. I have to say it. I do. I mean, I think this never use it. GitHub beginners, so heard a lot. Okay, it is free, for 2 days. No, don't you worry. I mean, again, I have used the GitHub Copilot since the beta, and I haven't paid any single money for this because first at the beta it was completely free. Then, when the full tool was released for the test users, they gave us like the free license for a time. But then after that, GitHub Education decided this was a great tool, and that they wanted to give us the access for all the students for free. Really? Yeah, really. I swear. Actually, I mentioned before, I also am a GitHub campus expert, so show us the tricks. I will do, don't worry. I am also a GitHub Campus Expert, and one of the things we do in Campus Expert is talk great things about this tool and encourage you to claim your GitHub Student Developer Pack. And don't Google it. Don't Google it. I will get to that in this session. So yeah, let's go. It is free as long as you're a student. Yes, completely free as long as you're a student. Let's go. But let's start, right? Sounds good. Yeah, it is good. What GitHub Copilot is, and I wanted to make the census because you probably heard that it is a pair programming tool, right? That's how GitHub describes it. GitHub Copilot, it is an AI pair programming tool that can help you write the book and understand the code. And these three are very important. Remember that. Write the book and understand the code. But how I will explain it is in my own words. GitHub Copilot is an extension of yourself in the art of writing code. And why an extension of yourself? Because the more time you use Copilot, the more time Copilot understands what you want to do. So at first, it makes suggestions. At the early beginnings, Copilot just made suggestions. So one of the features it was auto-completion. So you can be writing, for example, an Angular component, and then based on the whole code of GitHub, Copilot says, okay, I know you're writing an Angular component, so maybe I will autocomplete you for use ng init lifecycle method. So that's great, but that's the base, like the more basic stuff. But then, after time using this tool, Copilot start understanding what I want to do in my specific project and what I, as a programmer, like to implement. Like, for example, declaring the methods out of the constructor, but then initialize it on the constructor, right, for the class. And Copilot understand that. And then when I write the public method on the class root, Copilot auto suggests the initialization of that variable in the constructor. So now it understands me better and saves me a lot in code writing, right? So that is Copilot. A great pair, but also an increment of your abilities in writing code. And I always say this with all AI stuff. AI tools are things that multiply your abilities. So it is great when you have a lot of ability, because if you were a 10, now you're 100. If you were 100, now you're 1,000, etc., 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 right? Um, a person says, and so on, and so on, and so on. Another thing to mention here, I think it's very important. Remember, GPT. Remember this great model, the long language model. GPT-3 was released some years ago, and it was a great impact in all humanity, in all human lives, right? Uh, Microsoft bought GitHub some time ago. Microsoft also has, how to say this, a great connection with OpenAI, the company behind GPT. Well, then released GPT-3 Chat GPT. Sorry, I was confusing words. Chat GPT, and Chat GPT uses GPT-3. Then they released the GPT 3.5, and now they are on GPT 4 and 4.0, that it's not free. GPT, you use ChatGPT 3.5, and that's the free trial. And then if you want to use the latest model, you will have to pay. Well, Copilot internally uses the latest model, which is GPT-4, and that gives you access for the greatest things available. In numeric terms, and I know this slide can be a lot of things to have in mind, Copilot, according to the Microsoft surveys, helps you program 55% faster. In terms of efficiency, make you stay in the flow, like you're in the zone. And they explain it in this great phrase that at first cannot make a lot of sense, but once you understand it, it makes a lot of sense. Instead of 37 hours working, you translate it in 24 hours of the zone. And what does that mean? According to some researchers, it takes you up to 30 minutes to doing a task to focus on that task, right? Well, when you work with this Copilot, it means a full day of working using this tool. It's translated in what you want have to complete in day and a half of just normal working, right? So that's what Copilot is. But let's start making Copilot work for you now. Let's set up Copilot in your computers. I'm going to make a pause because I have seen a lot of comments. How's Copilot different from something like ChatGPT? And great question, because both uses the GPT model, right? ChatGPT, it's an interface that allows you to interact with the model in the OpenAI webpage. But ChatGPT, it's for general purposes. If you ask ChatGPT how to treat yourself with medicine, or if you feel sick or ill of something, ChatGPT will give you a response. That's possible. I don't know if that's correct or ethically correct even, but it's possible. If you ask ChatGPT how to cook the greatest soup for your mom or your girlfriend, I don't know, your dog, it's possible, and it will give you the recipe. It's trained with a lot of data from internet. It's trained in all the text from internet. Well, Copilot doesn't know how to cook. Copilot doesn't know how to treat you with medicine. Copilot doesn't know if the politics of something it's A or B. But what Copilot does, and it does it very well because it was trained with all the code in GitHub, it's how to code. And, well, ChatGPT could be great for general stuff, but Copilot is amazing for programming stuff. So that's the big difference. At first, Copilot just had the ability to make suggestions or autocomplete code. Then they released things like a chat interface that you can ask Copilot lots of things about code. And I will show you how to do it. It's really, really great. So, be happy with that you have, Malik. Copilot, it's like ChatGPT. Which one is better? Okay, I think I explained this, but if the answer wasn't good enough, let me say it again. Copilot, it's the tool for coding. ChatGPT, it's great for general stuff. You can ask a lot of things, but I will say Copilot is just way better for what codes refers. Copilot, it's free because we pay the price with our souls. That's so epic. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing. Copilot uses the latest model of ChatGPT. Uh, I would just change one thing in this phrase, that it's the latest model of GPT, which is the LLM model. So Copilot and ChatGPT are both interfaces of the model. The model, it's GPT. Don't write the chat, because chat GPT makes the interface for GPT model. Same, Copilot, it's the interface for the GPT model. In this case, with Copilot, we are using the latest model, right? Cool. It also has Visual Studio Code, I think, extension, and it's declared for AI coding, so can fetch more information than ChatGPT. Yeah, and that's also because they are using the latest model. Great. So let's continue to set up the GitHub Copilot for you to use. So let's start with a question. What text editor is better? And I want to be honest. Let's comment here who uses Visual Studio Code. Let's comment who uses Sublime, for example. I have to admit, when I start coding, I used Atom. And I don't know if that makes me sounds old, but yeah, I really love Atom, and not for a particular reason. I don't think it was so good, but the YouTuber I used to watch for learning program used Atom, so I don't know. I think that's why. But also, I think there are so hardcore hackers here, because I see some Beam answers. Beam is the best. NeoBeam, maybe you're referring, or you use Beam like full vanilla. Uh, Visual Code here, Visual Studio Code here. Cool, cool. An advantage of using GPTs from OpenAI is that give you brand new context from new training documentation of a brand new SOA programming packages. Yeah, I do agree. And again, remember, you can train models with your data, and that's really cool. But here, the advantage of Copilot is that it's trained of data that you cannot have access, which is all the GitHub code. So trying to beat that could be really, really hard. So much, yeah. Visual Studio. I used to use Beam. Now I use Visual Studio Code because it's so much easier. I get you. Oh, great! IntelliGI. That's cool. The spirit of atoms lives inside. Yeah. When I start coding, I use Sublime, Bracket, etc. So yeah, great. You have experience with many. Uh, okay, I tried from all data. Okay, cool. Well, I don't want to be polemic here. Let's put it this way. If a storybook tells you, like, hey, Nano, real programmers use MX, then a lot of people here says, hey, real programmers use Beam, right? But another person can tell you real programmers use ED, no, real programmers use CAD, and another person says, like, really going for the nonsense, real programs, you don't need magnetized needle and steady hands, right? Excuse me, real programmers use butterflies, like, it's getting ridiculous. You get it? The true question here, it's there is no better tool or an IDE which is better than others. The truth is, there's an IDE that has more support than others. So, GitHub Copilot gives you the ability to use Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, because remember, this is a Microsoft tool, Beam, well, NeoBeam, both Beam and NeoBeam, and the one who says IntelliGI, all the JetBrains IDs have support. So all of these IDs have support for the GitHub Copilot plugin. So if you use Sublime and Suri, you will not be able to use GitHub Copilot in your IDE. Neither others. But you can also use it in your command line through GitHub CLI, right? Which is great. I also use it in my CLI because in my personal experience, I try to use Beam when I can and Visual Studio Code for everything else. Because yeah, it is easier. But if I have to make a quick change or anything, I mean, like, you just beam things, make the change, everything's all right, just in your terminal. And if I have to be like fully changing things or in a more like in a more complete workflow, well, Visual Studio is the way. And GitHub Copilot in the CLI through the GitHub CLI, I mean, it's great when you when you don't memorize like the comments from the shell, and you ask like, hey, how do I do this, or hey, how do I do it this in Git or in GitHub or in just a general shell comment. It's so great for that. So if you don't have it installed for this session specifically, we are going to install this on Visual Studio. You can go to code.visualstudio.com and download it. If you have any other of these IDs, feel free to use them. But for practical reasons, we are going to use it in Visual Studio. Any questions for specific IDs, feel free to share it here in the comments and I can help you with that. Let's make a pause to read some comments here. I think this one was a little late. I never heard of those before, those front-end or back-end languages. What do you mean? Could you tell me what language you mean? Sorry, I didn't get this. Sublime is also cool. I haven't tried it, to be honest. I will also use it. Oh, that's cool, friend. Yes, Sublime, Replit, Another World, PyCharm. Collab is also cool. Hello, Rushil Chopra. I used Replit when I was participating in Microservice Codecamp. It was fun, man. There are IDE languages. Oh yeah, I mean, I think you're referring to this. These are IDs. If you want to be very, very specific, Visual Studio Code, it is not an IDE. It is a text editor. But yeah, we can call these IDs. The difference is the compiler. But yeah, these are integrate development environments. I think that's the meaning of IDE. But yeah, these are not languages. These are just tools for us to write code in them, and they make it easier to us to. Sorry, I need to go. They make it easier for us to debug, to watch the syntax, to write code in general terms. And many of them has plugins like this Visual Studio and like this GitHub Copilot plugin that we are going to use. Yeah, it supports every language on the web. Yeah, exactly. Some of them are for specific languages, like the IntelliJ JetBrains IDs. The IntelliJ it is for I don't remember what language is that for. For example, from the JetBrains WebStorm, it's from JavaScript and for TypeScript in general. PyCharm, it's for Python. IntelliJ, I don't remember if what's for Java. Oh, let me know. But yeah, some of them are for general purpose languages. Some of them are specific for a language. But this. So continue with the session, like Python, yeah. Uh, oh, like Python. So IntelliJ, I think it's for Python too. VS Code all the way for long, yeah. Um, yep, cool. So this is how you can install the extension. You can copy the command Control Shift P or Command Shift P if you're a Mac user as me, and you type install extension and search for the Copilot one. Or you can go to the site nav and search for that extension button, which is the one with the four squares. And the extension, once you look it looks like this. Sorry, once you search for it, it looks like this. The Copilot, it's from Microsoft and stuff, so easy to. Sorry, it's not from Microsoft, it's from GitHub. It's the authorized GitHub account, and you can click install. And well, I already spoiled this because you wanted to talk about this at the beginning, but this is the time when we make a dramatic pause. Blah, blah, blah. Copilot, as individuals, it's not free. Terrible news. Good reads. Good news. It is free for you if you have the Student Developer Pack. The Student Developer Pack is the great initiative from the GitHub education team for give resources for us as students to use. If you haven't heard of it, just make me the favor to go to hackp.ac/GitHub and start your GitHub Copilot redeem. Well, redeem your GitHub Student Developer Pack. Claim it. You have access to dozens of professional tools for free while you're a student. For example, in myself, I use a lot of 1Password, which is a password manager tool, management tool, and it's focused for programmers. So you can store SSH keys, you can store credit card information, you can store just simple password and user and password link, but you have a lot of things. 1Password, it's great, and it's one of my favorites that it's on the GitHub Student Developer Pack. But also you can access a lot of courses from the masters, a lot of for example, if you want to use icons 8 gives you access to the premium stuff and everything. Go here, hacked.ac/GitHub. Remember that. Wait, what tool was that for passwords? 1Password. Should we install both the Copilot and Copilot Chat? I think once you install the Copilot, it comes with the other one. But if they don't, yeah, install both. Thanks for that question. Oh, sure. Yeah. Students be like, yeah, exactly. They're different. Wait, well, I also, the only time I regret graduating, no more student developer back with me. Yeah, I'm in the same situation. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do the next year I graduate. I'm thinking of enrolling in a master's degree just for keeping this student developer back. They are telling me to sign up for GitHub Copilot. What should I do? Okay, let me share my screen. Here, yeah, this screen. So, hack.ac, GitHub, right? So we come here. This is the page we should be starting. You sign up to GitHub. In my case, let me stop sharing my screen for a second. Well, you see this? You see how I can unlock and put my password? This is one password. Okay, now I'm going to do it, but I won't show you my password, right? Uh, so I'm singing in. Okay, now I'm singing. And this is the access for GitHub Education benefits. I'm a student, so this is the correct page. I was approved. I already submitted 3 requests because again I have this student developer pack since a long time ago. My next status will be removed, I think, in a year or something like that. The application gives you this. Here you need to type your school name. And well, here, because I already have it, I cannot continue, but you will see this page and continue your process. What I recommend, like a cool advice for you, is you have student email, right? The one that your institution provides to you. Well, in your GitHub account, because I'm assuming you already have a GitHub account, add that mail as your second email. I mean, your personal email as the first and base email for GitHub, that's okay. And then add the second email to your like your school email, right? And why is that? Because the GitHub student developer pack page will automatically detect that and autocomplete some of this stuff for you. Then you will be redirected to a page and ask for give some proof that actually you're a student, maybe the curricula, maybe your ID or something like that, your school ID, I mean. And well, that's it. Process usually takes no more than 72 hours. So in less than that, you will have access to GitHub Copilot. And once you have it, you can rewatch this stream and complete the steps. But put attention here, for you don't need to watch the stream again. So let's continue here. Alberto, look at this. What do you mean? Look at what? Hydra? Well, okay. Let's continue. And Malik, let me know what I need to look at. So now, using GitHub Copilot, we open Visual Studio again. We are going to clone a repo. In this case, it's a repo we have prepared for this, which is mlh/copilot started. Also, you can come here, set github/mlh/copilot started. This is the link. I mean, whatever works better for you. If you want to do it through CLI, through the same Visual Studio Code tool or whatever. The thing is, you need to clone the repo. Here's the link. Once you clone it, you will see something like this. This is a Flask app. If you haven't seen it before, well, I introduced you to Flask. I'm not a Flask user, which is a tool for Python for creating backend, like the dev servers. But let's make Copilot explain this, because if you ask me, they're not too familiar with what Flask is. Well, don't worry, you can type Command E or Control E on Windows, and this tool is going to appear, which is the Copilot. The Copilot var, and you just need to type the slash and explain, and Copilot will explain the whole code in here, right? So before continuing here, let me, this is for the slides, but let me open myself my Visual Studio and share it with you. Okay, sorry, it's updating right now, but okay, now it's on. Mhm. Okay. Let me come here to this and copy the code, return, and now let me start sharing whole screen. Okay, you should see now my whole screen, and so here, git clone, no, git clone this. Okay. Okay, let me make it bigger. Nice, less bigger. Okay, I hope this seems good right now. The other thing, and you need to put attention once you installed the extensions. Okay, it needed to restart. Let me see if you have any question here. Look this. Okay. Alberto, look this. But I don't know what you mean. Sorry. Should we install both Copilot and Copilot Chat? Yeah, I already said that yes. What tool was that password? One password. Okay, I'm I still don't know what I need to look. Sorry, Malik. Hope you got your screen back. Yeah. Uh, Tomorrow for the next session, I will have my screen back. Okay. So this is the release notes. This is already come. Okay. Once you have your extension installed, the Copilot one, these two, the Copilot and Copilot Chat. Another thing you need to make sure, well, you will see another thing like this. This is the Copilot Chat extension, and it says welcome, Alberto, right? Because this is my GitHub handle. Here in accounts, make sure to have linked and sync your GitHub account, the one that it's connected to GitHub Student Developer Pack. Once this is done, like once you have synced your GitHub account to Visual Studio and the plugins installed, well, extensions installed, then you're good to go. Then you can come here, you can open the app file, you can click Command E and explain, right? Now this explain, this provides code excerpt. It's written in Python and appears to be a part of Flags application. Let's break it down and understand what is happening here. Starting from the line 5, then we have a function called second since epoch. This function calculates the number of seconds that have passed since the Unix epoch, which is January 1970, and it does it by counting the time and storing in a variable called epoch, and it returns the int epoch, right? The next, on line 8, we have a Flask router decorator, sorry, that is used for defining the root of the app that runs the return of the function second since the epoch. So the page that this generates should look like an empty page just with the time when the page, sorry, was called since the beginning of the time of the epoch time to now. And that's it. It's a very simple application, so we can close it. Now we understand it, and then what comes next? Well, for running this, we pip install the requirements. Let's do it that. For doing that myself, activate. Now I have my virtual environment of Python right. So now I'm going to pip install requirements. Oh, yeah. No, it's done. Cool. And Python -m Flask run debug. -m Flask run debug. And now this is on server, and let's see. Well, let's open this full, and let's see what's happening here. Okay, type error. We have an error. The application has an error, and to be honest, we have this on purpose. Let's return to the slides because we need Copilot to fix it. So let's return here. Let's type again Command E /fix, and let's see Copilot on practice. The recommendation here is to change the return of the call from integer to string. So let's close this and change that to string. Let's wait to the server to restart. Let's open again. Let's reload the page. And this is what I was referring to. Time in epoch, right? Sorry, in milliseconds. So that's it. The Copilot fixed the error, and now we have the server up and running. But let's add another thing to the program, right? Let's add a route that shows the hours since the epoch. So let's ask for Copilot for that. You will see here I have some auto-completion suggestion. So this is part of Copilot too, but now I don't want to use the auto-completion feature. I want to use the write code feature. So I can type again Command E and ask here in the same line, but also I can go here to the chat part and type here my demands. So it's the same. Let's do it. Write route where time is shown on hours, not in milliseconds. And here, for example, we need to add this. So we can do two things. We can select all this and change the inserting cursor, copy this, and paste it manually, but let's insert in cursor. So we apply the changes. We see the changes. We import a new library called daytime. and we add a new function called hours since epoch, and we have a new route. So let's return to the server, come here, and check that for hour. It was hours, or yeah, hours with an S. And this is this is it. Well, this is the time zone for me because I think the instructions were interpreted at what time is now, and the format it's correct. Actually, if you see my pointer, you will see the correct time for me in my time zone. It's 2 p.m. With 5 minutes and, well, in this case, 7 seconds, but now with 37 seconds. So, what else we can do with Copilot? We all already explained, we already fixed, and we created or write code with Copilot. Well, let me remove my screen here to see if you have any comments. Um, you mean, yeah, I already replied that. Should we install both Copilot and Copilot Chat? The answer is yes, please. As you see in my screen, I have both installed, and both are great tools. Thank you, Malik. So Copilot will recognize all errors that are occurring on that page. Yes, it takes the context of the file, and if it is a simple or a commonly mistake error, it is able to repair it automatically. If you are not able to repair it with Copilot with the fix command, it can help you debug the full file. Actually, it not only takes context of just the file, it takes context of all the project, all the folders, files, and everything that it's inside it. And it's so great for that. He will focus. What command do you use to create code? Actually, there you don't have to use a command. I just came here. I will do it again. And for example, there are these commands: doc for documenting, explain for explaining things, test for creating automatic text, and fix. But if you don't want to do this, you can just pass the instructions: create a route that says hello, and that's just it. It adds a route. Um, Let me just indent that is hello, and inside the route we return a hello. We return here, it was this one. We come here and we have the hello, and just like that, like magic, right? Amazing. Got you. Thanks. No worries. Now let me start presenting my screen again. No, this one not. This one no. Yeah, this one, and add it to the stage. Next steps. What comes next? Well, first thing you need to know, um, Copilot makes mistakes. Remember, this is an AI model and it has the GPT-4 model. So it is great, but it is not perfect. It can make mistakes. It can give you bad practices. This is why artificial intelligence is not going to replace us, because it can make mistakes. You, as sure as am I, you are a beautiful, wonderful, and amazing hacker. You know what things are good and what things are done. You don't need to rely fully on Copilot. You need this tool to increment, to multiply your abilities, not to replace them, right? So put attention on what you're building, put attention of what copilots do, because you need to supervise it, right? You're amazing. You will do great. Then, if you want to check again these type of things, you can do it. I will give you some links. For example, the examples, the configuration, and all the Copilot guides you can find in hack.ac/Copilot guides/Copilot examples and /Copilot config. So feel free to check them whenever you want. Once you GitHub Student and Developer Pack application was accepted, and well, we are on Discord. Again, I like to return to this to, to sorry to to this slide to tell you that Copilot it's incredible. Copilot it's a great tool, and it's like having you twice, because you can be as double as productive with Copilot. So keep doing it great, keep rolling. I really encourage you to start using this tool. Again, I mentioned my case. I use Copilot since the beta, and I don't imagine my life without this tool. So, this what does it mean to be a hacker? This is a great question. Um, Short answer: it doesn't mean that you are a bad person, that you vulnerate systems for fun. It doesn't mean that you get like private information from people. Doesn't mean that terrible stuff that usually people relate to hackers, or the black hacker or the white hacker, etc. Hacker just means that it's better to write that we want it to as comment or as prompt. Um, I'll reply that in a second. Hacker just means that you take stuff that it's currently available, the existing ideas, and you build on top of that, or you modify them to make it better. That's what we mean to be a hacker. Um, just people making the world better. That's it. Is it better to write what we want to do it as comment or as prompt? I think I will say as prompt, but comments are taken as prompts. So both are like kind of the same. As the auto suggestions takes comment as prompts, the chat takes the inputs as prompts. I don't know if that's clear, but both ways are good. That was a great response. Thanks. I think you mean the other one, but thank you. So that will be it for the session. Thank you a lot for joining me, and I hope you the next time I see you are using Copilot. If you have any question, please let me know right now. And if any question doesn't appear right now, I'll be checking Discord, so you can leave your questions at the Majorly Hacking Discord server. Thanks for the great session. Thank you a lot too. And well, I want to invite you to stay tuned to the Global Hack Week. We still have a lot of things. This is the beginning of a great week. Let me see the agenda to see what's coming up. For example, we have advanced. Well, no, this will going to be on Friday. Um, yeah, tomorrow. But yeah, this will be the last session for today. Check tomorrow for advanced defense features. Then today, Global Hack Week Day 2, Out Zero Q&A, and Smart Home Starter Pack. So that will be tomorrow in Global Hack Week. Thank you a lot for being here. I see your comments and I love them. Thanks for this great session, Alia Youssef. Malik, thank you. No, thank you. So, great. I think no more questions then. Bye bye. See you around.